Hi everyone, and welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. I'm joined with my two esteemed colleagues, Mrs. Gina Lever and, of course, Redfern. So we're going to talk about change and change that is absolutely inevitable. And I'm going to pass the mic straight to Red, and I'm going to go like that and drop it. There you go,
Thanks very
Red.
much, Andy. Good to be here. Hi, Jean. We've missed you. Not always nice to be back around here on a Tuesday, us three together. Just talking, obviously, about OnPassive and bits and pieces. I was going to talk about this on my live, and I probably will do tomorrow anyway. But it's a good excuse to talk about it once again, about change is inevitable and why it is important to understand that it's not a bad thing to have change. You know, a lot of people get very scared of change. They like their comfort zone, don't they? You know, and they like the norm and they like all these things. But without change, things don't progress, things don't evolve. And if you look at most businesses, especially ones that use apps, ones that use social media, ones that use anything to do with online, you will know that they have a lot of changes within their user interfaces. Why is this? And normal businesses as well. And I'm going to give you a very good example of this. But let's stick with the internet type of business. Why change is inevitable and it's a good thing, and that it is because things evolve, technology evolves, the way we use things evolve, um, better interfaces, quicker computers, all these sort of things happen over a period of time. And if you do not change, you end up getting left behind. You know, we all know the stories: Blockbuster, Netflix, different search engines. Remember Ask Jeeves? Remember that one? You know, all these ones who didn't keep up with the times. Guess what happens to them? They don't change and they end up being taken over by somebody else. Another big example of why change is a good thing and it's good for your business is how many times have you gone into a grocery store or a big shopping mall where you do your regular shop on a regular basis? You're almost on autopilot. You go in there, you know the bread's on the left hand side, you know the milk's on the right hand side, you know you go down the aisle and you've got the meat counter there and you've got all the, you know, you're on autopilot, sticking it in the trolley as you're going along. Guess what they do? They change it, don't they? Oh my God, it's an absolute nightmare, isn't it? You go in there, it's all changed, don't know where anything is. So why do they do it? Makes you buy more. It's good for business because you have to go looking for what your shopping list is all about. You go looking because you don't know where it is. You're not on autopilot anymore. You're actually physically looking at the shelves for where the things that you want. And guess what? Your eye gets sidewinded by, oh my God, they've got frosted wheats with sugar coating. I've got to have some of them. I don't normally buy them, but I'm going to have them. Right. So this is exactly why change and mixing things up is always a good thing as far as business is concerned. Let's move this right back round to OnPassive. Now, there's no secret in what's happened to OnPassive. If you've been part of the journey, you'll know that we closed down last September because of a lot of internal problems, external problems, all sorts of things were going very wrong. And our CEO took the very bold decision to say, right, let's close this down now. It's going to cause even more problems if we keep it open. So they closed it and let's rebuild so that we are in control with what we're doing and we know where we're going. So why have we been given this pop-up in our ecosystem about change, about without changing anything, you can't grow, and In fact, let's just go to it. And it says, after decades of being in business, I grasp that success is important without drastic changes, and that we shouldn't hold on to the past. It won't help in moving forward. That's why it is sensible to expand a positive transformation. Obviously, by changing nothing, nothing changes. Yes, absolutely, change is inevitable, so embrace it. Now, why is he telling us these now? We've been saying collectively for an awful long time now that to move forward, to get over the hurdles of what has happened, things have got to get changed, because without changing anything, guess what? Nothing changes. So we need to be in a situation where we are drastically changing OnPassive. And when I mean by changing OnPassive, I'm meaning by the look, the feel. We've already said all the products are going to get revamped, upgraded, because over this period of 18 months, 2 years, new techs come involved, new lots of things to do with building, etc. That all has to be incorporated and upgraded within the system. The system itself has to be changed. And this is why, if you want to have a successful business, change is very, very inevitable. And there's also a lot of other factors as well that come into it as well. If you read about change, it says it reflects the common experience that things rarely stay the same. Seasons change, people grow older, situations evolve, and truth observed throughout history and across cultures see this change. Also, the world is constantly evolving, isn't it? The evolution of our society moves. It moves only in one way, and that is forward. And part of that is the new technologies that are emerging, new discoveries of that tech, make it all possible to be able to move forward. Because if you don't go forward with how tech works, then guess what? You get left behind. And we were just talking earlier about the likes of Blockbuster, who didn't stay up to date, Ask Jeeves, one of the search engines, and many, many others. You can probably reel them all off. Mobile phones with Nokia, etc. You know, they didn't embrace new technology to stay in the game. If you want to be successful, you have to change, you have to bend, you have to go with the flow. But if you do this on a regular basis, then your client base stay up to date with that new technology. They stay up to date with what is going on. You always find this, that if you are a user of technology right now, which we all are, because we're on a computer, we're watching this, then you're not really learning new tricks. You're incorporating new technology as it comes to use, and you don't feel like you're having to learn something, but all you're doing is lots of little tweaks that make something better. But if you stepped away from it for 6 months or even a year and came back in, oh my word, you're going to be way behind that curve. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn how to use something new. But if you are up to date with it, you use it regularly, then it just becomes another add-on that you have to do, or you have to do something differently to make something work, but it's actually better for the user experience. And that's how we view new technology, as it's being integrated with our daily lives and the products and services we use. What's been happening with OnPassive behind the scenes is they're having to start from scratch. Our CEO said it, didn't he, on Marty's? He said that we've had to start from scratch once again to rebuild where we are going to be. Are we starting from zero? No, far from it. We're starting from experience. We're starting from a very solid baseline of that foundation we've talked about. We've got the products, we've got the services. They are being revamped, retweaked, voiceovers, all the rest of it. And part and parcel of this is to, I suppose, get us ready for accepting a change in what we were used to. This is why he put the pop-up in the back office to say that change is inevitable, it's going to happen, so that we are a little bit in the mindset of when it goes live, we're not going to go, oh my God, this is completely different. What has gone on with OnPassive? No, no, no. It is something better has gone on with OnPassive. This is why he's saying it is for good. It is for the benefit of all of us. And that's why I'm going to leave it now. Change is inevitable, but in a good way. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Red. Yeah, and there's another phrase I rather like that says progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. This is all about change, and I'll give you a great example. We used to have a really big group on a Friday that would go to the golf club and have drinks, and at the end of the evening you have the positive ones up one end and the negative ones up the other end, and we had bar stools and you'd all sit there. And then COVID happened and they took away all the bar stools and we don't have that anymore. But we still find at the end of the evening there's negative ones over there and the positive ones over here, which is always good. But yes, Jean, so what are your thoughts?
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Red. Yeah, change has been the topic of this whole weekend, actually. You know, just so many, so much to discuss there. And I was talking about over the weekend, you know, the idea of change, like transforming like a butterfly from a caterpillar, you know, to a butterfly, and that transformation that happens, and also birthing a baby. I use those analogies. And I was just thinking while you were talking that, you know, when a butterfly is transforming, it's trusting. And I wanted to talk a little bit about trust today. The butterfly trusts that the chrysalis is going to protect it while it is forming all its new parts and before it comes out into the world. So there's that trust there. A baby, even though it might not know it, is trusting the mother's womb to protect it until it comes out into the world. So there's like this incorporated trust in the process of change. And so here we have Mufareh creating something that has never been seen before, something spectacular. We don't know the blueprint of it. We don't know anything about it, its internal workings or whatever, but we trust that it is going to be good. It is going to protect us. It's going to get us where we're going. And I was just thinking, one of my favorite movies is the movie Contact. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, based on a novel by Carl Sagan, where you have a scientist, Dr. Ellie Arroway. She's a SETI scientist, so she studies the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And so she listens to radio signals and all of that. And she finds a ping, a sound that shows evidence that there's something out there, and they want to explore it. And in the process of studying this, they see that the radio signal is embedded with data, a blueprint. And I'm going to pull this around to OnPassive, a blueprint for what they believe, and the government and military and everybody gets involved. They believe that it is some sort of transport through wormholes or whatever to another world. So you see there's a lot of what's the words, parallels here. We have somebody, you know, a higher intelligence creating this blueprint, this schematic. And what happens is the government and military, people that think they know best, they come in and they build this thing, and they build it to what it looks like and all of that stuff. But they don't trust it. They don't trust that this sphere, this orb that this Dr. Arroway needs to sit in, they don't trust what it looks like. So they add stuff. They add a chair. They add straps. They add all these things in there that to protect her, because they think they know better, right? And so she's in there and it's getting ready to launch, and it starts shaking and vibrating and breaking apart. And she, trusting the original blueprint, unstraps herself. And suddenly she is floating free, safe, and she gets to her destination. So my sweeping around to OnPassive, here we are in the process of change. We have this blueprint that's been created by a higher intelligence, a good man with a big vision, and we are in this thing, and we may think we know how it should be. We may think we know better, or how fast, or how it should be strapped together. But if we trust that we are the original blueprint, the person that designed it has our best interests in mind and knows what he's doing, if we unstrap ourselves and just trust the process and trust the changes that are happening, that have to happen, it's not going to look the same as maybe we thought it might have been in the past. So I just love that visual of her just unstrapping and trusting, and then she flies through those wormholes and she gets where she's going. And it's a beautiful, I love this film. It's one of my absolute favorites. I highly recommend it to everyone. So that's what I would say about change, is trusting the person who is masterminding the changes that are needed in this company. So I hope that was sort of an interesting take on the topic.
Very good, Jean. Very good.
It was, yeah, absolutely, Jean. Yeah, I think there's a famous phrase that says, if you've always done the same thing and you're not willing to change, you'll always have the same result. So, you know, we have seen a glimpse of just a few of the opportunities that are going to be released again with OnPassive, and as I mentioned on Sunday in Heroes, the funny thing is that some of the options, not all, but some of the options that have appeared on our video conferencing platform OConnect have appeared on one of the other video conferencing platforms. Now, isn't that strange? The beauty of it is, and I love this analogy that Collins gave us some while ago. The other platform is built on a two-story foundation, and it's now trying to build a skyscraper because it didn't start with the AI, as opposed to what Mufareh has done, has created a foundation that's 1 kilometre wide and could go to the moon. But the beauty of it is you can chop and change things as you see fit because the foundation is there. And this is what Red mentioned earlier with we're not going to have to start again. We've got that big foundation. We've got that plate in place that is 1 kilometre wide and 1 kilometre deep and can go to the moon. And it's just a case of adding these new little bits in. Whereas many of these other companies are going to see problems because they just can't get there. They're 3 to 4 years behind where we've got to. Now, I like that, again, we've seen a Chinese company come out with one of these ChatGPT things. So what? We're ahead of the curve. So what? At the end of the day, when we do release again, you go, there you go. I think we got this one. Any further thoughts, Red?
Always, Andy, always. Yeah, I mean, change is relevant to so many things, not just business, but personal lives, etc. You know, the world itself is constantly evolving, isn't it? And new discoveries, etc. Life, you know, itself, the stages of growth and change from childhood to adult. Each of these bring new experiences, don't they? And challenges that require adaptation to different scenarios. That's change in itself. Also, don't forget, change always is out of your control. You know, external influences and factors beyond your control, such as economic shifts, social changes, natural events, etc. They require change for all sorts of different reasons that we have to adapt to. Also, I think if you are looking at growing, you have to embrace it, because while change is inevitable, growth and transformation are optional. It is really up to you whether you are going to grow with that change. Obviously, it requires a conscious efforts and a willingness to adapt and embrace the new opportunities or the new things that are there. And I think if you resist these changes, it can lead to stagnation even, and difficulty to adapt to new situations that you're put in. But if you do embrace that change, it can lead to exciting growth. Self-renaissance, they even say, as well, and the pursuit of new opportunities all come from embracing change, whether that is for yourself, whether that is for business. I think if you connect all those things together and accept that change is a good thing, and that really is the bottom line here, is that change is not a bad thing. It is the right way to go. It means that our CEO is proactive in this business. He's not prepared to just sit on his laurels and churn OnPassive 2.0 out as it was. No, that's not good enough. That's not how he wants it. He wants it to be striking. He wants it to be above our expectations. And he also wants to be able to produce something that is going to literally shock an awful lot of people. And the only way you can do all of those things is to change what was to what is going to be. Because if you didn't, people are going to go, well, it's the same as what it was, isn't it? You know, what's changed? Nothing. But if you do drastically change it, if you do revamp things, if they have that wow factor, then I'm sure we are all going to go, what do you think the outcome of that is going to be? Do you not think there's going to be a little bit of a buzz? Do you not think there's going to be a fair few people going, you need to see this? This is just absolutely amazing. Look at how fast things travel in the internet. Andy was just mentioning the Chinese coming out with a new ChatGTP yesterday, I think it was. We already have seen ChatGTP in its entirety. When that first released, it went absolutely wildfire within 24 hours. Along came DeepSeek, right? That was the second one. That was just before Christmas. That went completely crazy. And I'm sure the Chinese one will too as well. It came out yesterday or the day before. Why not OnPassive? Why not something that people are going to go, wow, this is amazing? Good news travels fast, guys. And if we can plug into the right areas of the internet and the social and all the rest of it, it will organically go absolutely hyperspeed all over the place. That is good news for us lot. All of us that have been on this journey, that is good news. Why? Because if the status quo is still the same, every single person who joins OnPassive has to go through a founder affiliate. Is that still going to be true? I have no idea, but that's what it was. So it's got to be good news for all of us in the long run. Good news for the company, good news for the affiliates. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's it for me. Back to you.
Thanks, Red. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I am very excited because at the end of the day, we saw some of the products and we thought, not quite sure on this one, but that's going to be tweaked. And we saw OConnect, our video conferencing platform. We thought, wow, this is really good. So how the hell is he going to make it better? Oh, I have no doubt he'll make it better, and his team, but there's all of these products lining up in the background. You go, whoa, hold on a second. When they go to market, Oh, I'll have that one. I'll have that one. I'll have that one. Thank you very much. I'll have that one. So when you take on a customer's not going to be for just one product. He's going to look at all of these other products. You go, oh, that's interesting. I'll have that one. And remember, it's all under one roof. It's all one single sign-on. And what a lot of people don't understand, and I've come across many times over the years, is when you work for a large company, they have one software package for accounts. They have one software package for recruitment. They have one software package for HR management. They have one package for this and that and the other. And the problem is that each of these packages is like, well, that one's 30 grand a year. That one's 50 grand a year. Well, this one, the HR package is 100 grand a year. This one, because it's all a specialist field. But when you've got a company that goes, hold on a second, you don't need that bit, but you can have that bit. You can have this bit, this bit, this bit, and this bit, and it's going to be a fraction of that cost. But again, I don't have to sign out of this one and sign into that one, or sign out of that one and sign into this one, and so on. I can sign on in one, save myself, my company some money, have everything incorporated that I need under one roof, and it's a fraction of the cost. This becomes a no-brainer. But it's not just that product. There's a myriad of these things coming. So this is where the excitement lies. So any further comments that you'd like to make, Jean?
Well, I just to pull together everything you guys just said. I mean, when you were talking about what you just mentioned about everything talking to each other under one umbrella for companies is the absolute game changer. I mean, it's just, I lived or worked in a corporate world like that where I had like 16 different apps every day. It was ridiculous. So that is so huge. It's just absolutely enormous. But when you mentioned about the so what, and Red mentioned about DeepSeek and all these companies out there copycatting and getting ideas from us, it really is a so what, because we have the source of the creativity, who's connected to all of us, right? So even if everybody out there starts doing all of our ideas right now, we're so many steps ahead and a innovation machine and moving forward. So and really the goal here is for everybody else to get better, is for everyone else to provide better things for their customers, not just for our company to be the only company and we're the only one doing anything for anyone. No, we want everyone to up their game, everyone to provide better products and better services and all of that. So we lift everyone, even people that don't join our company. You know, they're going to be lifted because they're going to see the example of us and then again, up their game, provide something better. It's just amazing. I'm just, change is really the tip of the iceberg. It is just, it's so wide and vast. Everything's going to change, not just our lives and other companies and stuff like that. The change is going to be so huge, global, just in every facet, because when you take people out of their financial strain, their time constraints and all of that, free up their creative thinking, it just ripples out into the world and changes everything. So, yes, we're in the right place. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Red. I look forward to talking more about this tomorrow.
Absolutely. Right place, right time.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. Any closing comments, Red?
I'm just going to close with one thing that you know, you're getting excited, and you're getting me excited as well, to be absolutely honest. And one of the other things that should get everyone even more excited is not only we're talking about the products and single sign-on and all the rest of it. No one's talked for a long time about what the company are going to do, because once somebody is a customer, do you not think they might do a little bit of marketing to these customers as well by saying, hey, listen, you're using OConnect, but if you bundle that with this and that, you can have that one for free. Buy these two on, you can have that one for free. Don't you think there's going to be all these types of offers that are going to go to every single customer? What's that going to encourage these people to do? to buy more, to use more. And the more buying, the more using of products that happen, the benefit is for us lot as affiliates to make more commissions, residual income, but it also helps spread the word. I've talked on many occasions now of, I believe, one of the biggest and strongest values that we have within the ecosystem is going to be our marketplace. And that comes from organic data, right? We are the data. We, the users of the ecosystem, are the data. Companies now fall over themselves to purchase data. Why? Because it's the only way that they can market now. Email marketing, that's out the window. Nobody does it anymore because it doesn't give a very good return. Direct sales marketing still works very, very well. But how do you do that? You have to put your product in front of somebody who wants to buy that product. That's where data marketing comes from. When they go onto Google or any other search engine and they put in, I want to buy a look, what's the best lawnmower I can buy, or whatever. Guess what? All these adverts come up for lawnmowers. Okay, that is direct selling because it is something that somebody already wants. Companies buy that data so that they can market to somebody because it increases their chance of a sale. Here we have OnPassive. Every single person within it has been verified by KYC. They're real people. They're not just fake names on the screen. They're real people. That means that if there's 1 million, there are 1 million real people. If it's 10 million, 10 million real people. 10 million separate accounts that have got real people, blah, blah, blah. Companies are going to fall over themselves to want to market within our marketplace their products and services, right? That revenue comes into the company. We've already been told that from our CEO that we'll be able to click a button to allow these adverts to go onto our websites, and we will get part of that revenue as well. Couple that with the marketplace itself, that the advert on our website will then double back into the marketplace where you can buy it, and you're making a commission off it because it's selling through your link. I mean, come on. Start going down this rabbit hole of what is possible and ways that you can earn money in OnPassive. It just blows your mind. We're only looking at such a small portion of what is possible and how to leverage the company. And there's going to be so much more to it than just selling and making a commission. Back to you.
Do you know, one of the most powerful things I've ever come across in the sales industry over the years is referrals, introductions. If you've got a customer that comes on board to use OConnect and they like what they see, you speak to the customer and you say, look, you've been using this thing. Who else do you talk to? What other guys do you know? What other CEOs do you know that use the alternative? And they give you a list of names and a list of companies. And when you go to that company, you say, hi, John, I've just been speaking to John and he's moved across and used our product. It's something that you might be of interest to you. Do you mind if I send you some details? And they go, no, if it's come from John, absolutely, fire it, send it over. It's the easiest sale you've ever made in your life. You know, if you work, certainly in the industry I was in, it was, if you had 5 cold calls, you'd get 1 sale if you're lucky. If you had 5 referrals, you'd get 4 or 5 out of that, because they know the person that you've spoken to before, and all hell breaks loose. So this is something for the future, something to consider for the future. Any final comment from you, Jean, because I shall let you finish today.
I just think change is inevitable. Change is awesome, especially when you're dealing with someone like Ash Mufareh. We're just in the best place ever, and it's only going to get more exciting from here. So thank you so much, Andy and Red. Yeah, I would say strap in for the ride, but in association with my analogy, I would say unstrap. Get into that roller coaster ride and put your hands in the air. Woo! It's gonna get fun. It's already fun.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys. Thanks, guys, for joining us today, and see us again next Tuesday. I shall do my best be home on time. In the meantime, don't forget Red's Lives, and we have Heroes on Sunday. Please come and join us Sunday. You'll get some really good information on what's going on. So, and we help people as well. So please join us then. Thank you, guys, for coming. We'll see you soon.